Our next topic is CES Security Mechanisms. CES provides several policy control mechanisms for establishing flow legitimacy, such as negotiation of a variety of ID types, return routability checks, proof of work mechanisms, and the use of secure locators. The mechanisms enable CES to identify the sender and its network on a required level of assurance. For this, CES eliminates the classical internet weaknesses of address spoofing, unwanted traffic, and DOS prior to admitting a flow from the sender. CES provides the above mechanism as policy control features for network administrators and gives different level of assurances based on the configured mechanisms. We briefly describe these mechanisms that minimize the risk to CES from internet abuse are: first, proof of work. It is an effective method in many anti-spamming and anti-flooding proposals since it makes it difficult for the sender to flood the victim with a large number of flows. The use of this mechanism in network level policy negotiation pushes the burden of communication to the sender, since the burden of computation to the sender is way more burden of verification on the receiver. In addition, the elimination of spoofing due to this mechanism contributes to sender identification together with the CES authentication mechanism. Next is CES authentication. CES nodes can either use the CES ID, which is FQDN of the served network, or their registered RLOCs for identification purposes. By principle, the CES node needs to authenticate the remote edge or its identity prior to admitting a flow from it. After spoofing has been eliminated, which is a prerequisite of authentication, a centralized trusted server can verify the authenticity of the CES ID or its RLOCs. In more practical cases, CES nodes can leverage the trust on X.509 certificates issued by well-known certificate authority CA to authenticate CES ID of the remote network. A remote edge can also be authenticated if its certificate is endorsed by one of the CES IDs that the CES node trusts, similar to a web of trust model. Next is header signature. The CETP signaling is generally agnostic to the underlying technologies, that is IPv4, IPv6, HIP, TLS or TCP and others. Some of these underlying protocols already have some level of certificate enforcement, for example in TLS. However, for all the other protocols, it is possible to provision the signed CETP header within the CETP signaling such that the receiver can verify it to authenticate CES node using the CA certificate for CES ID. Next is secure signaling. Although the CETP signaling is agnostic to the underlying protocols, the use of protocols such as TLS or TCP, HIP, and IPsec can contribute to the security and reliability of the signaling channel between CES networks due to underlying technology. Similarly, the CES nodes can choose to exchange signaling over private links, which could be more secure and hence preferred compared to public links between networks. Next is policy-based communication. Compared to the best effort principle of the internet, which favors the senders, the policy-based communication in the CES allows meeting the interests of the receiver with the interests of the sender and hence filters the unwanted traffic. In addition, it asserts the identities, authenticates the hosts, and executes host-level firewalling to filter the unwanted traffic. Here I conclude this topic. Hope you understand all the concepts clearly. Meet you in the next topic.
If you have any queries, please get in touch with us by typing your comment in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Do like and subscribe to our videos. So what are you waiting for? Join us for the course and do subscribe to our YouTube channel And don't forget to press the bell icon. Also, if you like our videos, don't forget to hit the like button and share our videos.